Hi everyone, welcome to One Stop Mathematical Solution. Today we are going to solve CSIR Net Mathematics June 2015 question paper. In this video, we have only dealt with the abstract algebra part. First, we'll look into the part B questions. Question 36. How many elements does the set of all Z and C such that Z power 60 is equal to minus 1, Z power K not equal to minus 1 for 0 less than K less than 60 have? So we have to find the cardinality of this set. We look into the concept used. Cardinality of the set of all Z and C such that Z power n is equal to 1, Z power K not equal to 1 for 0 less than K less than n is equal to phi of n. Second concept, phi of m1, m2, etc. up to mk is equal to phi of m1 into phi of m2, etc. up to phi of mk if and only if m1, m2, mk are relatively prime. Third concept, phi of p power k is equal to p power k minus p power k minus 1 where p is prime, and phi of p is equal to p minus 1 where p is prime. So now we'll move on to the question. So I'm taking the given set as S, then S is equivalent to the set of all Z and C such that Z power 120 is equal to 1, Z power k not equal to 1 for 0 less than k less than 120. Therefore, the cardinality of this set is equal to the cardinality of this set. Therefore, number of elements in S is equal to phi of 120 using the concept 1. And 120 can be prime factorized as 2 cube into 3 into 5. Therefore, phi of 120 is equal to phi of 2 cube into 3 into 5. And using concept 2, this can be split because they are relatively prime numbers. So this is equal to phi of 2 cube into phi of 3 into phi of 5. And for the phi of 2 cube, I am using the third concept, and for phi of 3 and phi of 5, I am using the fourth concept. So this is equal to 2 cube minus 2 square into 3 minus 1 into 5 minus 1. So once we simplify this, we are getting the answer is equal to 32. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is third one. Next question, question 37. Up to isomorphism, the number of abelian groups of order 108 is. So we have to find how many abelian groups are there for this group of order 108. So we'll look into the concept used. For n is equal to n1 per alpha 1, n2 per alpha 2, etc. up to nk per alpha k, the prime factorization of n, the number of abelian groups of order n is given by the formula p of alpha 1 into p of alpha 2, etc. up to p of alpha k, where p of alpha I is the total number of partitions of alpha I. So now we'll look what is partition. Partition of an n is a finite sequence n1, n2, etc. up to nk such that 0 less than n1 less than or equal to n2, etc. up to less than or equal to nk, and n is equal to n1 plus n2 plus etc. up to nk. So now we'll move on to the question. So first of all, prime factorize the order of the group. So they are given it to be 108. So that is equal to 2 square into 3 cube. So using concept 1, the number of abelian groups of order 108 is equal to partition of 2 into partition of 3. Partition of 2 is 2 because 2 is equal to 1 plus 1 and 2 is equal to 2. So there are totally 2 number of partitions. So p of 2 is equal to 2. Similarly, p of 3 is equal to 3 because 3 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 is equal to 1 plus 2 and 3 is equal to 3. So there are 3 total number of partitions. So that is equal to 2 into 3, that is equal to 6. So we'll check the correct option now. So the correct option is third one. Next question, question 39. The number of subfields of a field of cardinality 2 power 100 is. So we have to find how many subfields are there for this field. So we'll look into the concept used. The number of subfields of field of order p per k is tau of k, where tau of k is the number of divisors of k. So we'll check how to find the number of divisors. For n is equal to n1 per alpha 1, n2 per alpha 2, etc. up to nk per alpha k, the number of divisors of n is given by tau of n is equal to alpha 1 plus 1 into alpha 2 plus 1, etc. up to alpha k plus 1. So now we'll move on to the question. So we have to find the number of subfields of field of cardinality 2 per 100. So using concept 1, that is equal to tau of 100. First of all, prime factorize 100. So that is equal to 2 square into 5 square. So tau of 100 is equal to tau of 2 square into 5 square. Using the concept 2, this is equal to 2 plus 1 into 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3 square, that is equal to 9. So we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is third one. Now we'll move on to the part C questions. Question 83. Let sigma from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 be a permutation such that sigma inverse of j less than or equal to sigma j for every 1 less than or equal to j less than or equal to 5, then which of the following are correct? So they are given a permutation here that satisfies this equation. We have to find which of the options are true. So we'll check how to do this question. So they are given the condition here. So it is a permutation on 5 letter. So first of all, I am writing the different partitions of 5 so that I will know the different cycles of order of 5 permutation. So 5 can be written as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it has a cycle of order is equal to LCM of these number, that is equal to 1. Now 5 can be written as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. So it has a cycle of order LCM of these number, that is equal to 2. Similarly, once we find all this, we find that 5 permutation has cycles of order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, order 5 and order 6. So I'll check which of them belongs to this set of permutations satisfying this condition. So if we consider the order of permutation 1, it satisfies this given condition because order 1 permutation is the identity element. So sigma inverse is equal to sigma. And order 2 permutation also satisfies this condition because we know every element of order 2 are self-inverse, that is sigma inverse is equal to sigma. So for order 1 permutation and order 2 permutation belongs to this set of permutation. So we'll check whether order 3 permutation belongs to it. Suppose it belongs, say sigma is equal to alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, 3 cycle where alpha is a disjoint. Then sigma inverse is equal to keep the alpha 1 fixed, interchange alpha 2 and alpha 3. So sigma inverse is equal to alpha 1, alpha 3 and alpha 2. So under sigma, the image of alpha 1 is alpha 2. Under sigma, image of alpha 2 is alpha 3. Under sigma, image of alpha 3 is alpha 1. That is what is written here. Similarly, write it for sigma inverse. So sigma inverse of alpha 1 is alpha 3. Sigma inverse of alpha 2 is alpha 1. Sigma inverse of alpha 3 is alpha 2. So we have considered this permutation belongs to our given permutation. So it satisfies this condition. So sigma inverse of alpha 1 is less than or equal to sigma of alpha 1. We already found the value of sigma inverse of alpha 1 and sigma of alpha 1. Substitute that. So we'll get alpha 3 less than or equal to alpha 2. Also, sigma inverse of alpha 2 less than or equal to sigma of alpha 2. So this implies alpha 1 less than or equal to alpha 3. And sigma inverse of alpha 3 less than or equal to sigma of alpha 3. So this implies alpha 2 is less than or equal to alpha 1. So together these three condition implies alpha 1 less than or equal to alpha 3, alpha 3 less than or equal to alpha 2, alpha 2 less than or equal to alpha 1. So we are getting this condition here. So this is implying that alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3, which is a contradiction because we took alpha I as disjoint. So the permutation doesn't contain the cycle of order 3. Similarly, you can check it for cycle of order 6, cycle of order 4 and cycle of order 5. These cycles doesn't belongs to our permutation. Therefore, sigma only contains permutations of order 1 and 2. That is, sigma is equal to the identity permutation, 2-cycle permutation, and product of 2 cycles. So now we'll check the options one by one. So first option, sigma composite sigma of j is equal to j for every 1 less than or equal to j less than or equal to 5. So consider sigma composite sigma of j. So that is equal to sigma square of j is equal to j. That is, order of sigma will be either 1 or 2. That is obvious because sigma only contains identity and 2 cycles and product of 2 cycles whose order are 1 and 2. Second option, sigma inverse of j is equal to sigma j. It's also obvious because sigma only contains identity and elements of order 2 which are self-inverse. Third option, the set K such that sigma of K not equal to K has even number of elements. So identity doesn't contain any element which satisfies this condition. So identity corresponding to 0 number of elements. 2 cycle contain 2 elements which satisfies this condition. Product of 2 cycles have 4 number of elements. So totally we are getting even number of elements for each of the permutation. So the option is correct. Fourth option, the set of K such that sigma of K is equal to K has an odd number of elements. Identity satisfies this condition for all elements. So identity contains 5 number of elements. 2 cycles have 3 number of elements. Product of 2 cycles have only 1 number of elements. So all of them are containing odd number of elements. So this option is also true. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are all the 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next question, question 84. Which of the following primes satisfies the congruence a power 24 congruent to 6a plus 2 mod 13? So we need the option which satisfies this congruence relation. So we'll look into the concept used. Fermat's little theorem. For a prime p and a not a multiple of p, a power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod p. If a is congruent to b mod m, then a power k is congruent to b power k mod m for k greater than or equal to 1. Also, a minus k is congruent to b minus k mod m. If k congruent to kb mod m such that GCD of k and m is equal to 1, then a is congruent to b mod m. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given this congruence relation. And by Fermat's little theorem, we can write a power 13 minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod 13. That is, a power 12 is congruent to 1 mod 13. So I am squaring both the terms which holds by the concept 2. So a power 24 is congruent to 1 mod 13. And by symmetric property, 1 is congruent to a power 24 mod 13. And now 1 is congruent to a power 24 mod 13. A power 24 is congruent to 6a plus 2 mod 13. So using transitive property, we can write 1 is congruent to 6a plus 2 mod 13. Again, using symmetric property, we can write 6a plus 2 is congruent to 1 mod 13. Now I am subtracting both the sides by minus 2, which holds by concept 3. So 6a is congruent to minus 1 mod 13. So minus 1 is 12 under mod 13. So 6a is congruent to 12 mod 13. Since GCD of 6 and 13 is equal to 1, by concept 4, we can state that a is congruent to 2 mod 13. So we need primes such that when it is divided by 13, we get a remainder 2. So here only the options 41 and 67 are satisfying. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is 1 and 3. Next question, question 85. If x, y and z are elements of a group such that x, y, z is equal to 1, then so they are given 3 elements of a group which satisfies this equation. We have to check which of the options are true. So we'll check how to do this question. So they are given x, y, z is equal to 1. I am pre-multiplying by x inverse. It exists because x is an element of a group, so its inverse also exists. So x inverse x, y, z is equal to x inverse. and we know x inverse x is equal to identity, and identity into yz is nothing but yz. So yz is equal to x inverse. Now I am post multiplying by x, so this implies yz x is equal to x inverse x, and we know x inverse x is nothing but the identity 1. So this implies yz x is equal to 1. But yx z is not equal to 1. So I am using an example here. So let me take g is equal to s3, x is equal to 1 2, y is equal to 2 3, z is equal to 1 3 2. Then we are getting xyz is equal to 1, but yxz is equal to 1 2 3, which is not equal to 1. So similarly we can show zxy is equal to 1 and zyx is not equal to 1. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct options are 1 and 3. Next question, question 86. Which of the following cannot be the class equation of a group of order 10? So we need to find which of the options are not a class equation. So we look into the concept used. Class equation is order of G is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to k, order of CL of AI, where CL of AI are distinct conjugate classes. Also note that order of CL of AI should divide order of G. Second concept, order of G is equal to the number of ones in the class equation, and also order of Z of G should divide order of G. Third concept, if order of G is equal to PQ such that P divides Q minus 1, then G is isomorphic to an abelian group as well as a non-abelian group. Fourth concept, if G is abelian of order n, then class equation is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus etc. up to 1 n times. If G is non-abelian and order of G is equal to 2 into P, then class equation is given by 1 plus P plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 etc. up to 2, where 2 repeats 1 minus P minus 1 by 2 times. So now we'll check the options one by one. So first class equation is this. So order of Z of G is the number of ones in the equation, so that is equal to 3, and we need order of Z of G should divide the order of G, but here 3 doesn't divide 10, so this can't be a class equation. So this is the correct option. Now next option, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 10. So we have an order of CL of A to be 3, and 3 doesn't divide 10, the order of G. So this can't be a class equation. So this option is also correct. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 10. This is obviously the class equation of D5, which is an order of 10. Last equation, 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equal to 10. So order of G is equal to 10, so that is equal to 2 into 5, and 2 is dividing 5 minus 1. So G is isomorphic to abelian group is at 10, and G is isomorphic to non-abelian group D5, which is of order 10. So we have class equation of Z10, abelian groups using the concept 4. This is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 etc. up to 1 10 times. And D5 is a non-abelian group and its order is of the form 2p. So using concept 5, this is equal to 1 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2, where 2 repeats 5 minus 1 by 2 times, that is 2 times. So if the order of G is equal to 10, we either have the class equation of this or class equation of this. So this doesn't arise anywhere. So this option is also correct. So we'll check the correct options now. So the correct options are 1, 2 and 4. Next question, question 88. Which of the following polynomials are irreducible in the ring Z of X of polynomials in one variable with integer coefficients? So we have to check which of the options are irreducible over the ring Z of X. We'll look into the concept used. F of X belongs to R of X is irreducible over R if it can't be expressed as the product of polynomials. X power p minus 1 plus x power p minus 2 plus etc. up to x plus 1 is irreducible over Q. Gauss lemma. Primitive polynomial is irreducible over Z if and only if it is irreducible over Q. f of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus etc. up to an x power n is a primitive polynomial if c of f equal to 1, where c of f is equal to gcd of a0, a1, etc. up to an, called the content of x. So now we'll move on to the question and we'll check the options one by one. Second option, 1 plus x plus 1 plus x plus 1 whole square plus x plus 1 whole cube. So we see that x plus 1 is common for third and fourth term, so I'm taking it outside. So this is equal to 1 plus x plus 1 plus x plus 1 whole square into 1 plus x plus 1. From both this term I am taking 1 plus x plus 1 common. So this is equal to 1 plus x plus 1 into 1 plus x plus 1 whole square. That is equal to 2 plus x into 1 plus x plus 1 whole square. So I can write this polynomial as a product of two other polynomials. So hence this polynomial is reducible. So this option is wrong. Third option, 1 plus x square plus x cube plus x power 4. This is of the form second concept. So this is irreducible over q. Hence by Gauss lemma, this is irreducible over z, since this is a primitive polynomial. Fourth option, 1 plus x square plus x cube. If you see that x square is common for these two terms, so I am taking it outside. So this is equal to 1 plus x square into 1 plus x. From these two terms, I am taking 1 plus x common. So this is equal to 1 plus x into 1 plus x square. So I can write this polynomial as the product of two other polynomial. Hence it is an irreducible polynomial. So this option is wrong. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 1 and 3. Next question, question 89. Determine which of the following polynomials are irreducible over the indicated rings. So we have to check which of the options are irreducible over the corresponding rings. We'll look into the concept used. Every odd degree polynomial has at least one real root. For f of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus etc. up to an x power 1 as a rational root p by q if p divides a0, the constant term, and q divides the coefficient of x power n, that is q divides an. F of x is irreducible over f if and only if f of x doesn't have a root over f. Einstein's criteria. For f of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus etc. up to an x power n, if there exists a prime p such that p divides ai for 0 less than or equal to ai less than n, and p doesn't divides an and p square does not divides a0, then f of x is irreducible over q. Gauss lemma. Primitive polynomial is irreducible over z if and only if it is irreducible over q. F of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus etc. up to an x power n is primitive polynomial if c of f equal to 1, where c of f is equal to gcd of a0, a1, etc. up to an, which is called the content of f of x. So now we'll move on to the question. We'll check the options one by one. X power 5 minus 3x power 4 plus 2x cube minus 5x plus 8 over r. So if we note that this is an 5 degree polynomial, that is odd degree polynomial. So by concept 1, it has at least one real root. Therefore, it is reducible over r. So option 2 is wrong. X cube plus 2x square plus x plus 1 over q. Suppose this polynomial has a root in q. Say it to be p by q. Then p should divide 1 and q should divide 1. So p is of the form 1 plus or minus 1 and q is equal to plus or minus 1. Therefore, p by q is equal to plus or minus 1. So we have to get f of 1 and f of minus 1 to be 0. But we are getting f of 1 is not equal to 0 and f of minus 1 not equal to 0. So this is a contradiction. Therefore, this polynomial has no rational roots. Hence, it is irreducible over q. So second option is correct. Third option, x cube plus 3x square minus 6x plus 3 over z. So we have 3 divides 3, 3 divides minus 6, 3 divides 3. But 3 doesn't divide 1, 3 squared doesn't divide 3. Thus, by Einstein's criteria, this polynomial is irreducible over q. Therefore, by Gauss lemma, being a primitive polynomial, it is irreducible over Z. So option 3 is also correct. Option 4, x power 4 plus x square plus 1 over Z by 2Z. We have Z by 2Z isomorphic to Z2 and Z2 contains 0 and 1. So we will check whether 0 and 1 forms the root of this polynomial or not. So let me take f of x is equal to x power 4 plus x square plus 1. So we are getting f of 0 is equal to 1 and f of 1 is equal to 1. Therefore 0 and 1 are not roots of this polynomial. Therefore this polynomial is irreducible over Z by 2Z. So this option is also correct. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 2, 3 and 4.